Welcome to Life on Maui. I'm your host, Stephen Freid. We're coming to you live from Kihei, and my guest for today is Natalie Young. And she is an amazing psychic. I had a reading with her a couple weeks ago, and I was really pretty amazed by how simple and clean and clear it was. So, welcome to the show, Natalie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. And there is a stereotype of psychics.
Yes.
And I would like you to talk about how you're different. You went through school, you're government certified. What does that mean? What does that entail?
Well, there is such a stereotype of psychics out there that I worked really hard so that I don't get the name just a psychic on the side that says, oh, I'm psychic, you know, I can see things. We're all born with intuition. So we all kind of have that built in us. I was born with a little more than the average person. So going through schooling, being certified, it just gives you a little bit more for people to know that you're more than just the average. I've been certified. I'm more professional side of it. That's a good way to say it. So it's more professional. People feel more comfortable when you've actually been certified and like you work with the federal government and you worked with celebrity clientele. It's not just anyone. I mean, anyone can go up and say, I'm psychic, I feel something for you, I see something for you. Everyone has an intuition. And then some people will just kind of pop up and start their profession that way. And it doesn't mean that you're always right just because you had one or two opportunities or situations that come up and say, you got that, you guessed it right. Doesn't mean that you could predict people's lives. Doesn't mean you can do that professionally. The way I do it is I made for sure that I have that capability, that when I'm giving someone a reading, when I'm telling you something, I don't want to say something and then you take my word on what the reading said, like I, for example, maybe told you, this is a good time for you to move.
Yes.
I don't want to know that after you leave.
You did actually say that.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, and I am.
Yeah. So I don't want to say that and then it actually not be, you know, the right time for you to move. So then you go out and you move and it didn't work out for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I went through the schooling, because I want to make for sure that whatever I'm advising people to do by what I see around them, they're going to get the best advice and most intuition into the future that they could be given.
There are a couple questions that come from what you just said. One is, you say you were born with a little more, so I'm wondering if you noticed that early in life.
Yes.
Two, when you say you went through schooling, we know what typical school is. I'm wondering what psychic school would be. And then when you say working with the federal government and so forth, what that means.
Okay. So, age. I was 9 years old when I started to have the gift. Clear blue, I would just like see dreams or see things happening. I actually saved a friend's life by predicting they was doing like this trip. Some friends were getting together, we were doing this trip, and I had a bad vision not to go on that trip. So I told my friend, no, let's not go, let's stay home. I didn't really get into detail. I didn't want anyone, you know, why is Natalie coming up with this, you know? Yeah. So we stood home and they ended up having a car accident and a couple of the kids, unfortunately, they passed away. Wow. So that was one incident that really scared me. Another incident was watching the news one time. There was a missing child and I knew where that child was. I told my mother called to the authorities. Sure as enough, they found the child there.
And this is at 9 years old. Wow.
At 9.
Wow.
So that's when I start going to, actually, my parents put me through therapy. They thought that something was wrong with me.
Right.
And then going to a couple of therapists, and they found out there's nothing wrong with your daughter. She has a gift. So then they sent me to like a metaphysical therapist. Metaphysical therapist is someone who teaches, you know, more like meditation and kind of tunes more into psychic abilities. Yeah. And they told me that at a very early age, I had a very strong ability. So I turned it off for a while because I was too young to be bothered with it. So they helped me balance so I can turn it off. So I do that a lot these days, like when going to the mall or going anywhere. I don't want to pass by somebody and, constantly say, oh, hey, I see something for you. I don't want to be constantly voices or messages. So I turn it off a lot of times. And when I'm doing a reading, then I'll tune into the energy and what's around me and information. So for a long time, yes, I turned it off at 9 years old so that I could live my childhood. And then the older I got, I realized that I have a gift and I want to use it to help people, to better their lives. Like people's questions a lot is, should I marry this person? Should I make this move? Should I make this career change? Things that if they knew what to do, it would be better. So then I learned that I wanted to do that. I wanted to help people make their decisions to better themselves. And then that's where it led to, I wanted to make sure I was giving the right advice by going through different schooling and making for sure that I was capable and I was accurate enough to do that. So that's how it all kind of raised that about.
Yeah, wonderful. And I had a reading with Natalie a few weeks ago. And there are big changes going on in my life, big. And, she wasn't privy to the details, but it all came through in the reading. And what was wonderful about it is that it was just very clarifying. It just reinforced what was already within me, that I was already clear about, but it added more clarity. And very simple, very beautifully simple.
Thank you. I try to do that in my readings. I can go on and talk about your energy here and, the way the moon is and the way the sun is. And a lot of that sometimes it just kind of like, whoa, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
I like to get to the point to what you want to know about. People in their readings, they want to know about love, they want to know about business, they want to know about finances, they want to know about health. And I just kind of go straight into that and give you the information that you want on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not very complex. I mean, those areas that you said are basically what most people want to know.
Exactly.
You also feel that, Maui itself has a healing quality to it.
Totally.
So you conduct your healings and retreats here on Maui. Speak to how Maui is that and why that's important.
The energy here in Maui, actually in all of Hawaii, but Maui is very special because we are surrounded by a lot of all the other islands.
Yeah.
We're kind of like in the middle of it.
Yes, we are.
And working with the energy here is extremely healing on so many levels. It could be in addictions. It could be for health. It could be for love. It could be for just manifesting. If you want to manifest something in your life, whether it be finances, whether it be love, whether it be work, whatever it is, you can manifest if you just know how to tune into the energy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people here are not really, they hear it, and it's kind of like somewhere, within, but they don't really practice it. They don't do it. So when I use my energy, well, not my energy, but when I work with the energy here from Maui, you can get amazing results. You have to be connected, though. It's something you have to want to do. It's not something you can say, oh yeah, I want to manifest or I want to heal. You have to really connect and want that healing and be acceptive to the energy that's out here. I worked with a lady who was diagnosed with leukemia. She did her treatments, and we also worked with the energy here and helped her release. And before all of her treatments were done, we got back good news that she was cleared. So, I mean, the results could be endless.
Yeah.
If you just know how to connect. And that's why I'm here, is I came here on tour. And when I was here on tour, it was for my very first time.
And you're originally from Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been here for about how long?
3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, almost coming up on 3 years now. Yeah. And I came here really just to tour. And when I came out here, totally connected and fell in love with the island. Yeah. And the energy here. And that tour actually got booked. And then I got more. You know, I had to keep coming back and keep coming back.
And by tour, you mean giving readings?
Readings and healings.
And healings.
Yeah, a lot of my celebrity clients come out here now, and we do retreats and do healings.
And I don't want to interrupt. You were on a flow about your touring, but what kind of healings do you do?
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying. Like, some people want to manifest love, health, family, finances. Some people want to release negative feelings, negative emotions, negative habits, negative, just when you just feel like you're just caught up in a negative cycle. You can release all that, and then you start to manifest. So that's what is that what your question is? That's what the healing is about?
Yeah, and what might it...
what entails?
What's it entail?
There's a lot of things that you can do out here in Maui. What I have learned that works the best is I use a lot of crystal therapy, like quartz crystals, amethyst crystals, rose quartz. The list goes on and on and on of what you can use. But the crystals help absorb the energy. And when they're kind of connected, it's like there is like a little vortex out here.
Yeah.
And when the energy is connected to the crystal, it just kind of like, it vacuum packs, you know, all of that energy from you. And then when we do like water, get into water, the water out here is very healing.
When you say we get into the water, do you do that
actually
with
in the
somebody?
Ocean, yeah.
So you go to the ocean.
Yeah, not too deep.
Not too deep, with someone, and part of the healing entails going into the ocean.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Great.
The water out here is so healing because we're the only land that is away from any other land.
Yeah.
You know. So
way far away.
Yeah. So that's what makes the waters out here. It's like magic. It is like healing. So. Working with crystals, getting into water, and a lot of other like meditation you have to do, and just, you know, all that part of it. It's not just pray with a little crystal, get in the water, and it's all done. It's not like that. But it is, that's the general way that works. Gotcha. And one of the things I really like about you, I mean, everyone has their own flavor. There are other people here on Maui, they do psychic work. I feel like... you know, your work, I feel like you have a grounded quality and you could appeal to a very wide range of people. It's one of the first things I noticed with you when I came in. It just all felt very grounded. Thank you.
Yeah, and that really appeals to me. So, what's your website? How can people find out more about you?
The website is readingsbynatalieyoung.com.
readingsbynatalieyoung.com, and if you look at the end credits, we'll put it in type in the end credits.
I think you asked me a couple other questions, but I kind of kept talking over. I know you asked me about my age. No, when I started.
Yeah, you did. Yep, and you said you talked about. And one thing I wanted to say is, as you're thinking, is how fortunate it is that whatever therapist, psychologist that you went to was hip enough that they, because it could have gone the other way, that they were hip enough to pick up on, you know, not just, you know, think something's weird, but that you're very fortunate.
Yeah, I am. That could have went to a bad story.
That could have gone into another story.
Right.
And another thing about Maui is, and I think you probably know this too, is that because it's such a powerful vortex of a spot, it can move people in many directions. It can, including people separating.
Yeah. No.
But it's all good. It's all for our better, higher good.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything really happens for a reason. Like I was saying, when I toured out here, I didn't expect to move out here.
Ah, yeah.
So moving out here it just kind of led me. You know what I mean? And I'm Christian, so I believe very strongly in what God guides me to do. And God definitely had guided me here. And meeting the people that I did and actually helping the people that I have and healed people, it's not me at all, the glory goes to God. But it was because I was led, you know? And I feel like if it was just for helping a couple of those people that I did and healing and actually giving people life, you know, by guiding them and showing them, I feel like I'm a tool. I don't ever want to take any credit away from God, but I kind of feel like I'm kind of in tune to be able to see what is best for you, where you which direction you need to guide to and what you need to heal from. You know, kind of like an X-ray. You can kind of see within and say, this is wrong, this is right, let's balance it and get you on the right track.
Yeah. And that's, again, I want to emphasize, I had a reading a few weeks ago with Natalie, and it just was clean, simple, clear. I recorded it. I've listened to it a few times. Just very resonant.
Thank you.
And
I try to be, I try to get into, I try to cover all aspects of life. I try to get into as much detail as I'm feeling comfortable with. Yeah. Saying, because if I don't feel something in a reading that I'm not feeling really accurate about, I won't even mention it. Everything I say in my reading is because I feel for sure that when you walk out that door, I gave you the absolute utmost best reading I could have, and know that if you make those decisions where I guided you to go, they're going to work out for you.
Can't ask for more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So one more time, your website.
readingsbynatalieyoung.com.
readingsbynatalieyoung.com. And again, look at the end credits and it'll be in type there. So, Natalie, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was definitely a pleasure.
A pleasure. A pleasure knowing you, meeting you, getting the reading from you, doing the interview with you. It's all good.
It was awesome.
Awesome. So that's it for this episode of Life on Maui. And stay tuned. In a couple of months, I'll be moving to Thailand, and I'll continue my shows. I'll, at least the first year, be calling it Life on Maui live from Thailand, and if I stay there longer.
Nice.
And by the way, without saying anything to Natalie, she picked right up on that. I hope you enjoyed this show as much as I did, and until next time, aloha.
Aloha.
Call me crazy, but I'm never